Am I the asshole for giving a very silly ugly smile in meetings after my boss said I should smile more? I work in a tech consulting job, I'm the only woman on the team. And my boss told me I was coming off harsh with clients and should be more upbeat and smile more. It felt ick. I right away texted my group chat of coworkers, without the management in it, asking, has Bossman ever told any of you guys to smile more? It was an immediate round of no's, and a couple of my coworkers asked if he said that to me and pointed out the double standard. A few of my coworkers joked that some of the clients we have right now don't give them anything to smile about. So then I asked if any of them had ever been called harsh, and it was again all no's. I told them that the boss had told me to smile more, and one of my coworkers sent me a picture of a girl pulling a silly face with a weird pinch smile and bug-out eyes saying, well, what Bossman says, he gets. I thought that was hilarious and decided to actually do it. Anyway, I started smiling more and more around my boss. But also a bit stupidly. Just keeping my mouth pinched tensely, gums on display, and purposely pulling my chin back towards my neck so I'd get a double chin. I never did it in front of actual clients, just my boss and coworkers who were in on the joke. And my boss kept looking uncomfortable when I did. He asked me at a meeting about a week in what that face I was pulling was. I said, oh, what face? He said, that one, just a second ago, and my coworker said, what, she was just smiling. What are you getting at her for? My boss said, it looked like she was pulling a face, and my other coworker pulled out his phone where he had some pictures from a recent happy hour where I was pulling that face to make my coworkers laugh. And he said, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? That's literally her smile. Look at this picture from last Friday, and all of my coworkers backed him up saying that was just how I smile. My boss was looking kinda incredulous, so I clarified that if something makes me spontaneously laugh or grin, it probably looks a little more relaxed. But when I'm just putting on a smile to be polite or pose for a picture, I guess that's how I smile. And I was trying to be polite after he let me know I was coming off harsh in meetings. Anyway, at my next one-on-one meeting, my boss said I didn't need to change my demeanor that much based on his comments, because honestly it was coming off disingenuous and that would look worse in front of clients. I just said, yeah, I guess I've never really been good at being super peppy without it looking fake. And as far as I know, that was the end of that. Except for it becoming a running joke at the offs that I look like Nigel Thornberry. Which is a pretty smashing nickname honestly. But I feel a little bad that I basically gaslit my boss and my coworkers were in on it instead of being direct with him and just saying that he was coming across a bit sexist. Am I the asshole for my fake smile thing? You sound hilarious and your coworkers sound like the most incredible people on this planet. Not the asshole, and thanks for bringing a smile to my own grouchy face. Not the asshole. He fucked around, he found out. Very glad your crew had your back. You all did the boss and the company a huge favor in settling this, quietly amongst yourselves. It was a lawsuit waiting to happen. Bossman Corporation would have lost. But you and team would have also lost time, energy, and life joy. Lol, not the asshole. This is malicious compliance at its best. Not the asshole, and it's great that your coworkers had your back. It seems your boss got the point without needing to get the point directly, so hopefully it won't come up again. I don't know if you can call it 100% gaslighting, because there's picture proof from your coworkers of your forced smile, and you made the same face when he was around, so there's no manipulation of his memory to doubt himself of what he saw. That's the smile he wanted. That's the smile you gave him, case closed. You legend. This is fucking hilarious. Tears of joy. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. This was a sly, fun way to get back at your boss for making an inappropriate request. Also, your coworkers rock. Am I the asshole for saying, sorry my husband loves me? Weird title, but hear me out. I, 32F, am currently pregnant with my first child, 15 weeks along. Also not located in the US. When my husband, 35M, found out we were pregnant, he took it upon himself to drive me to and from work every day, and help me take things into my workplace every morning and carry them back out at the end of the day. I didn't ask him to do this for me, and have insisted on doing things myself because I can, but I also think it's sweet he wants to take care of me like that. I am capable of driving and carrying things just fine. However, he really wants to do this for me, so hey, not complaining. I'm not saying anyone should expect their spouse to bend over backwards like this during their pregnancy. However, since my husband has volunteered to do this, I am not going to say no to being pampered either. I am not the first person in my department to be pregnant or have kids, but I am the youngest. My colleagues seeing this every day have made comments, but nothing rude. They just commented on what my husband does for me, which again is really incredibly sweet of him. However, their comments are becoming incredibly repetitive and annoying to hear as it feels as though they're blaming me. One of the co-workers, A, 36F, is a mom and went through a difficult pregnancy while working, while another co-worker, B, 35F, is happily child-free. Both have been making comments daily about how I should stand up to my husband and take control of doing things myself. A keeps recounting her own pregnancy and how her husband never did these things for her, whilst B thinks I am going against feminism. She said that she brought this situation up to her husband and his response was, "If you're expecting me to treat you like that, don't get pregnant." Which is pretty appalling emo. B has even drunk called me on a weekend to inform me that I am going against the core values of feminism, which rubbed me the wrong way because it makes no sense. Yesterday, A and B were at it again with their comments, and I finally snapped back saying, "Sorry it bothers you guys that much that my husband loves me." They both didn't take it well as they became quiet, and have been very distant since. I did apologize for snapping, but nothing's changed. I do feel bad. Am I the asshole? ETA. Holy wow, I did not expect this to blow up like it did. Thank you to all those who messaged. I appreciate everyone's feedback. Thank you kind strangers for the awards as well. I took your advice and contacted HR. I explained everything that took place and all that was said, including the drunken phone call. So let's see what happens. I will keep you guys updated on any changes. Additionally, to all those who were concerned that my husband was being controlling, I absolutely understand where you're coming from. However, I promise he's the chillest human I know. He just really enjoys looking after the people he loves. While he was doing this initially simply because I am pregnant, I did actually have some complications shortly after finding out I was pregnant. Hence, why he was more adamant to make sure I was okay. If anybody is drunk calling you on a weekend, that's going way too far. They could probably be fired for that. Maybe your husband is more feminist than she is. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. How you and your husband manage your pregnancy is up to you and your husband. Sure, if there were scary, creepy things going on, a friend should say something, but just driving you and helping carry stuff when you are nauseous and tired? What on earth is wrong with that? My husband drove me around, did errands, carried stuff, went out at night to get me treats, and all sorts of things to make me feel better. And he also didn't do a bunch of things I'd have liked, because, well, we are both people and that is how life works. Congratulations, and when that little one shows up, give it a snuggle from me. Not the asshole. They were meddling where their comments, observations and advice were not only unwelcome, but unnecessary. One is jealous that your husband is more attentive than hers, and the other is simply using feminism as an excuse for men behaving badly. I mean, whose husband actually says that? And why is she talking about you to her husband, anyway? Let them pout and enjoy the peace and quiet, and your husband's care and attention. A lot of the posts on here are all about the same thing, people bottling up feelings for so long and then snapping. Communicating your feelings earlier would have saved you all a bit of awkwardness now. But, not the asshole. Your pregnancy is frankly none of their business. If they don't have something nice to say, it doesn't need to be said. Not the asshole. Ha, they deserved it. Don't feel bad and don't apologize again. Frankly, I might send an email to your boss or HR or something and tell them what your coworkers have been saying and what you said, so they know the situation. Not the asshole. So what you're saying is, they're jealous that you have a husband who cares about the well-being of you and your future baby and it's seen as a bad thing. Never be ashamed that you have someone in your life that is willing to do anything for you without having to be asked. Has nothing to do with feminism at all. You just have a loving husband, lol, nothing more to it. Am I the asshole for unlocking my personal items box to teach my snooping father a lesson? I, 29M, have a father, 67M, who has always been a huge control freak over most aspects of my life. It's always his way, or the highway. Yes, even as I am almost about to turn 30, he always asks questions about things that he finds or that I do with my life. He has consistently went through my personal items as well growing up and even now. Well, I've honestly been tired of it. As I have lived away from him, the stuff I have collected as someone who is gay, has a boyfriend, into a lot of interesting things. You get the picture. My dildos, plugs, pup hoods, handcuffs, you name it, is in that box. so this weekend. My father decided to visit me for an extended weekend. And of course, he has questioned everything I have organized and how I have done it, to which I say, if you want to clean it or do better, be my guest. I'll be at my computer gaming. I also told him to please not go through my certain box in the back closet, but he could clean and do whatever he wants with the rest of my closet apartment. I go outside to get the mail and come back, and there he is with a clearly traumatized look on his face as he sees one of my dildos and pup hoods, as my box I told him not to go into is completely open. He asked if it was for my girlfriend, still refuses to accept I am gay. And I say no, my boyfriend, and I use that. I then added that it serves him right for feeling the way he is after I told him clearly to not go through that box, and that he should respect the privacy I should have as someone who is turning 30 and is independent. We were going to go sightseeing in my town, but now he's in the main room just staring down at the floor, clearly upset by what I said to him. However, I clearly told him to not go through my stuff, and he did, so I feel like he has no one to blame but himself. Am I the asshole? Lol, you aren't going sightseeing, he's seen plenty already. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. And honestly, I don't think he's traumatized by what you said. He just got hit with a concrete truck of evidence that he can't ignore that you are in fact a gay man. And there's nothing he can do about it. Not the asshole. You taught him a good lesson. I hope he learns a lot from this. I also hope he can man up and accept you for who you fucking are. Live your life with pride. Not the asshole. Fuck around and find out. And he found out. Woman shrugging, medium dark skin tone. Not the asshole. You specifically asked him not to look in the box. He has to deal with the consequences of not listening, disrespecting you. It also sounds like you're long overdue for some boundaries with him. Not the asshole, but I do hate you for making me look up pup hoods, lol. Am I the asshole for refusing to allow my brother-in-law or his kids into my house? BG. Younger sister, 28 female, married 2 years ago. Her husband, 35 male, was a widower with kids, 11 male, and 10 female. His first wife died 5 years ago, I believe. Brother-in-law and his kids were nowhere near ready for him to remarry. His family seemed to have pushed the issue, and he found my sister. She was all in, fell madly in love with him and the kids, but has never returned it. They are so damn disrespectful to my sister. They constantly remind her she's not the first wife. He will actively say things in front of everyone about how much he misses his true wife, and how you only have one real love in life and losing that is the worst thing ever. My sister has confided in me that she often feels like she made a mistake, but she's not ready to admit it. She leans on me and I try to help her. The kids have told my sister she will never be as special as their mom. That their mom was the best and my sister is poop. My sister's birthday was in November and we had a small family celebration. Right in the middle of it, the kids protested their need to attend and asked why they would celebrate her when she's not important to them. Brother-in-law said nothing. I told them it wasn't a kind thing to say. They laughed at the idea of being kind to my sister. They also said they didn't care what I thought because I wasn't there anything. Then later, as we all ate cake, he talked about his late wife's 28th birthday and how he had spent weeks planning a party for her because she's had a rough year. And then he and the kids started planning a week-long celebration for what would have been his late wife's 35th birthday later this year. I've had enough. My sister isn't ready to do anything. But I have been clear I will not allow them to come into my house and disrespect my sister and shit all over her. Brother-in-law has tried to come with my sister a few times, him and the kids, and I have been firm in my stance. I also refuse to host any family dinners because I do not want them in my home. Brother-in-law is pissed. My sister said my house is a nice break from them. He said the kids are kids and we're all family. I told him he and his kids don't appear to think so. And they're certainly not treating any of us like we're family. The rest of my family thinks I've maybe stepped too far since he is my sister's husband. Am I the asshole? My sister said my house is a nice break from them. This is the only thing that matters. Everyone else's opinion is just noise. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Yikes. He believes that it is fine for him and his kids to constantly disrespect your sister and treat her like shit, but believes you should all bend over backwards to include him and treat him like a king? The man is a horrible and has obviously raised his kids to be selfish, cold, and unempathetic. Your sister needs to get a divorce and recognize that she deserves so much better than this. My sister said my house is a nice break from them. Not the asshole. If your sister is actually fine with this, then the rest of your family can suck it because it is incredibly good for her to be away from that. If it was preventing her from being able to visit at all and isolating her further, you still wouldn't be an asshole, but it wouldn't be a great idea. Keep an eye on it, but hopefully some time away will help her realize it's not normal and she's not happy. Not the asshole. Your brother-in-law and his kids are mean and disrespectful of your sister. I don't know why they married to start off with. No one is saying they should forget their mother, but she doesn't have to be shoved into your sister's face all the time as being the best and that she is basically crap. The least the children can do is show her respect, but they don't see their father doing that, so why should they? If I were your sister, I would leave this shit show of a marriage. Not the asshole. They don't get to expect to be treated like family while not treating your sister like family. It sounds like neither the kids nor brother-in-law were ready for a remarriage and they're all taking it out on your sister. They could probably benefit from some grief counseling and family therapy. Not the asshole. Firstly, because your sister is happier without them there, which is the best reason. But secondly, I'd bring up to your brother-in-law that he is happy sitting back while his kids tell you that you are not anything to them. I.e., you are not family. So why should you have to have brother-in-law and the kids in your home? He seems to agree that the kids are not family to you. He says nothing when they say it. Why is it that he wants to go all, but we're famille because he is missing out on a meal?